a new record for kids being detained by immigration in Colorado.
These facilities and these detention centers don't have the capacity to care for these families.
Tina Peters will spend her Thanksgiving in prison. Colorado's just going to ignore the Trump administration's effort to get her out. SNAP benefits have been restored, yet the need at food banks is still sky high.
The level of food insecurity is the highest it's been in over 10 years.
So let's raise money together tonight to buy meals for older Coloradans who are stuck at home this holiday season. And we will stop by Denver's living room to talk gratitude.
What am I thankful for? There is so much to be thankful for.
Tonight on a Thanksgiving Eve edition of Next. Children were taken by immigration agents in two recent high-profile incidents in Colorado. Immigration advocates tell our Angeline McCall they think this is the start of something that has not been seen here before.
Across Colorado, life-altering moments for children. The first in Durango when protests started over two kids detained with their father. Then we heard of a Douglas County teacher detained with her children.
Puts a different fear for people.
Andrea Loya works with nonprofit Casa de Paz, working with immigrants in detention.
So this is definitely, I feel like, a new way to kind of scare our communities. It's definitely valid if we're now talking about someone's kids, and the possibility of either being separated or being taken away.
Kids cannot stay at the Aurora detention facility, meaning most times they'll have to be transported out of state to a family holding facility, usually in Texas, which makes the process longer.
And I think that might hopefully deter them a little bit.
But what we do know is that more kids are ending up in ICE custody, more than 600 across the country, according to ProPublica data. That's more than in the last 4 years combined.
I think that's one of the things that we really haven't been able to identify, I think, as a whole, is the damage that we're putting onto these children. And again, these are children. And so we're okay with putting minors through these very harsh conditions and very dehumanizing conditions. And I think that that's devastating.
Of course, we know people say ICE detention is really harsh, and even more so, you can imagine how difficult it would be for kids. Both of those families we talked about earlier, the teacher's family as well as the family in Durango, chose voluntary departure rather than staying in detention and fighting their case, Kyle.
So we know that this second Trump term is bringing a slightly different approach to deportations, right? Larger scale, more aggressive. The way that they're handling kids, has that changed since the first term? Slightly.
So we did see a little bit of this, right? When we talk about family separation, the first Trump administration, we really saw it at the border, at the U.S.-Mexico border. What we didn't see so much was this interior enforcement, right? So kids and families being taken in Colorado or states across the United States that don't touch that border. So that's really what makes this different and significant.
Angeline McCall, thank you. Tina Peters will spend Thanksgiving in a state prison in Pueblo after a failed attempt by the Trump administration to get her out. The Department of Corrections tells me it does not even plan to respond to the Fed's request to take custody of Peters. It's not clear why the state didn't just say that a week ago. Instead, the Department of Corrections hedged, and Democratic Governor Jared Polis avoided our questions on the topic. So that led to speculation and concern from some that Polis was considering handing Peters over to the Trump administration. Peters is 1 year into a 9-year sentence for leading a scheme to tamper with voting systems when she was the elected Mesa County clerk. This week, her attorney even endorsed the idea of a military raid to pull her out of that state prison. And one of her closest allies, MAGA podcaster Joe Oltmann from Douglas County, said that Governor Polis and other leading Democrats in Colorado should be executed. Colorado and 20 other states are suing the Trump administration over new guidance blocking certain groups of legal immigrants from getting SNAP food benefits. Last month, the USDA issued guidance declaring legal permanent residents, including refugees and asylum seekers, permanently ineligible for SNAP. The lawsuit by Colorado and other states asks a judge to block that guidance, arguing that the memo rewrites federal rules and would put financial strain on states that would have to shoulder the cost of fines. The lawsuit also notes that the USDA did not grant the required 120-day grace period for states to implement this change. If it seems like Colorado has been suing the Trump administration a lot, you're right. This is Colorado's 45th lawsuit against the administration this year. All 600,000 Coloradans who rely on SNAP benefits have now received that food aid for the month of November. But the need at food banks remains persistently high. Our Evan Krugel looks at why.
The day before Thanksgiving is an easy day to mail it in.
Yeah.
Brandy Chambers could have spent it on the couch.
Yes. But it's okay, I enjoy doing this anyway.
Instead, she spent it sorting through pairs at the Montbella warehouse for the Food Bank of the Rockies.
Just making sure that they're perfectly fine for them to be distributed out.
She knows how important this food is
They smell really good.
because she's been on the other side of this process before.
It feels good. It feels really good to give back, especially because I'm from a family that is in need because of how the government is as of right now.
The state says families like Brandy's, who rely on food assistance, have now received the full November amount after payments were paused during the government shutdown. But despite that $120 million disbursement, demand here hasn't gone down yet.
Even with SNAP benefits flowing again, we are still seeing a significant increase in the number of people who are coming to our mobile pantries. At some of our sites, anywhere from 40 to 60% more.
Joanna Wise says it's the highest need they've seen in their 47-year history. At their Thanksgiving event last week, she says a record 1,500 people came to get Thanksgiving meals, up from 1,000 last year.
And that is because they're still trying to get back on their feet and they're still trying to prepare for the holiday season ahead of them.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a tough time as of right now, especially with the holidays coming up.
Brandy hopes the need here eventually returns to normal, but says she's happy to lend a hand to help families this holiday season.
Having this extra food definitely helps, for sure.
There are roughly 600,000 SNAP recipients in Colorado. Again, all of them now do have their November benefits. But tens of thousands could lose that support soon because of new SNAP eligibility requirements that started this month, requiring most eligible adults to either work or to volunteer to receive benefits. Kyle, the state estimates more than a tenth of eligible Coloradans could lose benefits under those new guidelines.
I think that's something that's been lost, right, in the last month when people worried about any benefits at all. But the Republicans who control both sides of Congress obviously have the presidency, want to make some changes in the way that program works going forward.
Right. So much uncertainty over the past month, and that appears to be continuing moving forward.
Evan Krugel, thank you so much. All right, it's the night before Thanksgiving. What do you say we buy some meals for Coloradans in need? This week's Word of Thanks microgiving campaign supports Community Food Share in Boulder and Broomfield counties, specifically their Blue Spruce Neighbors program, which feeds older people in the community. They have twice monthly grocery deliveries of fresh food to people who cannot get out easily, and they also have a grocery store style pantry for people who prefer to pick out their own groceries in person. Community Food Share focuses on having what seniors need to stay healthy as opposed to just whatever food happens to be coming through the food pantry pipeline these days. Food that can help people manage diabetes or high blood pressure or other medical conditions. High protein foods and dairy for muscle strength and bone health. It's the kind of food that we would want any older person in our life to have. And they make sure that their neighbors in Boulder and Broomfield counties can have it. Scan the QR code on your screen or text the word THANKS to 303-871-1491 to get the link to donate. Even $5 helps because we're going to pile together a whole bunch of $5 donations. That's what we've done for 5 years now, and your microgiving has raised $16 million for nonprofits across the state. You know the deal. I will never sit here asking you to give if I don't give myself, so I'll match the first 50 donations of $5 to get us rolling. And if you like what we do with Word of Thanks, please consider becoming a monthly donor. You put in your information once, you say, hey, I can give $20 a month, $25 a month, and we split your donation among all the nonprofits we feature each month. So you help everybody, and it's an automatic every single month. That's added nearly $40,000 to our recent weekly campaigns. There are new warnings to drivers about some of the weaker bridges in Denver, and they're not easy to see. And tonight on this program, we right or wrong. Cannot believe that I made it to this ripe old age without eating sweet potato pie. I sit down with a friend for a conversation and a revelation. That's next. Our thanks to all the first responders who are working Thanksgiving to keep us safe, especially those Denver firefighters now diverting around 5 older bridges in town that have new weight restrictions. We've been telling you about that here on Next. The city put up weight restriction signs at those bridges last week. Now, you would want these signs to be pretty conspicuous, right? Easily seen. In other words, you do not want them to be difficult to spot, like, say, this one at Smith Road in Quebec. It's behind the stoplight pole, and it's right where the bridge begins. So by the time you see it, you're on it, baby. Then there's another sign on top of the Quebec Bridge just south of I-70. Fire trucks and commercial vehicles like the cement truck you just saw across there, they shouldn't be on that bridge. We spotted signs posted just before the bridge. So again, if you're not looking, you're not willing to slam on the brakes, you're in trouble. We asked the city if it proactively reached out to the trucking industry with a warning about these new weight restrictions. Spokesperson said the city has been in communication with the Motor Vehicle Association. Just for fun, we called them up, and the head of the group told us he learned about the bridge restrictions from our reporting.
The sun has set on another cool and windy November day, but overall a decent day to be outdoors in Colorado. Temperatures running about 5 to 10 degrees cooler than average at 42 here in Denver. But feast your eyes on this Thanksgiving forecast. It's going to be warmer, 10 degrees warmer, 52 degrees. Some areas will be warmer than that with a little more sunshine and a little less wind than we saw today. But the big story is the weekend. Cold and snow coming Saturday and Sunday. We do believe this will be Denver's first snow of the season. Light accumulation is definitely possible in the city and moderate snow in the mountains. It'll start Friday night. This whole thing's going to wind down on Monday morning. We're still dealing with some really gusty winds in the foothills tonight. This progressive northwest flow will transport in enough additional moisture that we might have a few more snow showers show up in the northern Front Range foothills and mountains, but no advisories for snow or for travel. So here it is, starting Friday, first rain, then snow, all the way through Monday morning. Ta-da! We have light accumulation in the forecast for Denver. Fingers crossed. All right, it's going to be a cool evening with temperatures dropping into the lower and middle 20s. We rebound to 52 on Thanksgiving, 61 Friday, and then in come the changes for the weekend. Cold and snow both Saturday and Sunday.
I recently made a confession on this program, a pie-related confession, appropriate in the lead up to Thanksgiving. So I was complaining with Chris Bianchi that I often find pumpkin pie bland, but I've never had a sweet potato pie. A ton of you wrote in with recipes and suggestions, and today I sat down with our friend Steve Steger for a slice of pie, 3 of them actually. I asked folks on X, I said, should I make one? Should I buy one? What should I do? And because I like to cook, I like to bake or whatever, so I wanted to make one myself, but I didn't trust myself to make the only sweet potato pie I've had.
I get
be like,
that,
oh, this is horrendous. Maybe it's user error.
Yeah.
So we have 3.
Okay.
The one on the left is like the default sweet potato pie of America. This is the Patti LaBelle sweet potato pie, which apparently is only sold at Walmart. That's where we had to get it. It's absurdly cheap, but people are like, yeah, it's a decent approximation of the style. And then in the middle is the one that I made off a recipe recommended by Next viewers. And then the one on the far right here is from Welton Street Cafe, best soul food place in Denver. So I figured if anybody can make a great sweet potato pie, it's them. So those are the 3 we have. I'm going to start with the Patti LaBelle.
Let's go with Patti first.
Yeah.
I had no idea that she had a sweet potato pie dynasty, but apparently Patti LaBelle has been doing this.
That's sweet.
Oh, yeah.
That is sweet. I mean, it's good. I mean, people say, like it's similar to pumpkin pie, but it's not the same, right? Like, like that is sweet.
Is that nutmeg? What is the?
I think it's a lot of nutmeg. So in mine there is allspice, cinnamon, nutmeg, and some cloves in mine.
Okay.
I'm gonna go after number 2 here.
Did you choose, or did you go off of a recipe?
I went off of a recipe that was sent to me by like half a dozen Next viewers. They're like, do this recipe. And I was like, I can follow a recipe. So that's what I do with this one. Okay. The Patti LaBelle one is good. People warn me it's sweet.
Oh, it's very good. So this, how much, you said there's a decent amount of butter in this one?
More butter than I put in anything in my life. There's a lot of butter in it. That's actually, very good. That's pretty decent.
I actually feel my blood slowing down slightly.
Right? Okay, I was worried about the texture, right? Because I've never made the pie before. Is it okay to have a little texture? Apparently it's okay to have a little texture.
It's very good.
All right, I'm getting after this Welton Street Cafe pie here.
I feel like we should have an experienced sweet potato pie person give like an accurate assessment of this, because
oh snap, that's great.
The Welton Street one.
It's a different spice profile.
Oh,
and there's some almond in that. You taste the almond in that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's some almond in that. Okay, all right, very
The
good.
texture of this pie.
Very good. I'm not sure that I can recommend the Walmart one. I think it's fine. It's very sweet. I would recommend my own, but I'm not going to make you a pie.
You're not?
I don't know how many I would need to make.
It's not going to be like the wood circles that you gave out.
That Welton Street Cafe one is very good. Yeah. All right. Well,
You should start a business.
Happy Thanksgiving,
Happy
Doug.
Thanksgiving.
Good to
Thanks
see
for
you.
the coffee, too.
Thanks for having me at the table.
We're really thankful to be able to visit family this week and be able to see family that we haven't seen in quite a while.
What do you say we sit down and fill our plates with gratitude for Thanksgiving? And a reminder, you can catch Next streaming each night, 6 p.m. on 9 News Plus. Even when they move us around to other funny channels, we are always there on 9 News Plus. And Next is a podcast, wherever you find those. So you know, typically we set aside Fridays to share your good news with each other. Next is off for Thanksgiving and Friday, so our team can spend time with family and friends. So let's gather good news and gratitude early at Denver's Union Station.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. And we're here in Denver to visit our son and daughter-in-law and granddaughter.
There is so much to be thankful for.
I'm thankful for our family that's here with us.
And be able to see family that we haven't seen in quite a while.
I'm grateful to have access to food and have access to the means to travel to visit family and loved ones.
I'm grateful for family and friends and my wonderful girlfriend, Paige.
That's really nice.
I'm thankful for the Dodgers winning the World Series. I like Nikola Jokic, though.
I'm thankful for my friends and my family. And I'm thankful for my toys.
I'm thankful for my family. I'm thankful for Jesus. I'm thankful for life.
My family, my friends, God.
I'm thankful for God, for more days to have my family and friends, and for life.
I'm thankful for all of our friends who have supported us through the last 2 years. Yes.
We're so thankful for 3 wonderful sons. Our 3rd wonderful son we lost a few years ago, and so it's sentimental and poignant, but it's an opportunity to thank God for all 3 boys. Sing choirs of angels. We're just celebrating the ongoing path of our family, so it's wonderful.
Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving.
Some beautiful photojournalism from our Mike Grady. Zvi, what do the people want to talk about tonight? Pie?
And your jacket.
And my jacket. All right, we'll talk pie and my jacket next. This week's Word of Thanks microgiving campaign is helping to feed seniors in need in Boulder and Broomfield counties. Scan the QR code on your screen or text the word THANKS to 303-871-1491 to join me in giving to the nonprofit Community Food Share. Their Blue Spruce Neighbors program distributed 250,000 pounds of food last year, including through more than 8,000 home deliveries to seniors who cannot easily get out and might be isolated this holiday season. And they bring healthy food specifically chosen to help those older Coloradans manage any health issues that they have. I want to thank you. In the last month, you have raised more than $300,000 through our targeted Word of Thanks microgiving campaigns to help feed our neighbors. Feedback tonight via text. You weren't clear if you and Steve Steger liked the sweet potato pie better than pumpkin. You just judged them against each other. I can say for me, I liked it better than the pumpkin pies that I've had. I thought that it was richer and more flavorful, which has been my complaint about the pumpkin pies. But another text, Kyle, all those spices you put in the sweet potato pie, you could put in a pumpkin pie. That one's fair, absolutely. Gordy from Broomfield says, got to be a story with that jacket. There is. It's for Thanksgiving, and years ago I used to be able to button it, but now I just wear a sweater.